Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to the finale of the tournament. It is 1920s battleships. 5 nations faced each other in this first tournament. Italy, Germany and France were eliminated. The United Kingdom and Spain are all that stand in this finale. This means that the Spanish 14-inch guns are going to have to face off against the withering 8.9s from the British. That's their secondaries. Will that be possible? Let's find out. Battleships Formidable, Immortalica, and Swifture. Immortalis class. Against the España class. The Españas immediately take the advantage that they have right now. Long-range firepower. Their guns can reach farther than those of the British. They have more main firepower. More 14-inch barrels. They have 8, to the contrast of the British 6. The British also are not yet in range. The British can only carry these shells 19.6 kilometers or 15.9 with HE. The Spanish, by contrast, can actually more than outrange the British by about 3 kilometers. If they can land a couple of hits on these British ships, and even make one of them slow down because of flooding, well, there it is. This could be a problem for the British ships. Because what the Brits rely on is their 8.7-inch guns. These guns are not great in the sense that their reload is about a half a minute, 34 seconds. They do have a lot of range. They do have a ridiculously good amount of accuracy, and it has been said in the comment section that these guns are bugged. These guns are actually overperforming relative to what you would expect. The British ships have a lot of these turrets to make up for the relatively lackluster rate of fire. All the British have to do is live long enough to get into range. And getting into range at 17 knots is going to take a while. Now the Spanish, in a way, are helping because they're coming towards the British ships. To some extent it is within the favor of the Spanish ships to close the distance, because they have torpedoes. The British don't. This could be a deciding factor in this fight. This could change the balance if they can close the distance. And I'd say what's more important is that they divide the British battle group. They don't want to be facing all the British ships in one go, because at that point the 8.7-inch barrage just becomes completely overwhelming. The Spanish, unfortunately, don't understand with the AI that they have, much like the British, what the ship needs to do. The Spanish really need to stay at range of about 20 kilometers, where the British can barely, if at all, reach them. The Spanish, with their guns, can definitely reach the British, and if they can just hit the Immortalica or any of the others a few more times, divide the British and then pick them off one by one, they can win this fight. Because last time they closed the distance, the Spanish did not have a great time. As the 8.7s, and you can see it happening now, open up. These guns are fantastic for setting fires, eliminating crew, and making sure that the Spanish ships become less and less and less effective. Their main guns can be used to cripple, if not flat out destroy, the Spanish turrets. We've seen this happen time and time again in various battles. The Spanish main guns are not very survivable. And even the loss of 1 or 2 turrets could swing this battle in favor of the British. It seems that for now all the ships are focusing fire. The British are focusing on the middle ship there. And I think the Spanish are doing the same thing. The Spanish are also focusing on the middle ship. And the Immortalica is taking some damage. The damage-wise, it's very close. It's 1.2k for the Brits, 1.5k for the Spanish. Accuracy on these guns is getting really ridiculous already. It's 49%. And we have a torpedo detonation aboard one of the Spanish. That's not exactly going to help their longevity. We got some damage to the main guns, damage to the main tower. Fires are getting set. This is when the 8.7s get pretty ridiculous. We have another incident of flooding on the Immortalica. Is that bad. It's 3 compartments. That could slow the Immortalica down quite a bit. And the Immortalica is limited to about 12 knots and still slowing down. But I fear for the life of this Spanish ship. Just the sheer amount of fires that are getting set could result in another overwhelming fire. And the ship has already lost 27% of her crew. Ooh, another flooding. The Immortalica is getting peppered. She seems to be falling back. And with the British anti-flood 1, they're going to have a pretty hard time keeping this ship alive. You can see that once again, it's the British weak fore and aft belt that are failing them. Based on the flooding, the buoyancy, the anti-flood, and the standard bulkheads, I am very concerned that the Immortalica might sink here. Which, if they're able to, at the same time, eliminate the España, makes it suddenly a 2v2. Whoa, 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 the main tower got destroyed. That's really bad for the Spanish damage control efforts. Gonna mean they don't really have a coordination center anymore. They've lost 32% of their crew and their control is down to 85%. Their damage control is withering. Immortalica down to 21% buoyancy at the moment. She's steady for now. And the Spanish have made a mistake. They're switching their fire to the Formidable. If they had kept the pressure on the Immortalica, I think that would have been far better. The British, similarly, are switching fire. They're switching fire to the Almudena instead of the already pretty badly shaken España. Oh, another pen on the Formidable. Right through the aft belt by the looks of it. Missed the salvo from the Brits. Flooding! Formidable is flooding. Again, bow belt went right through. Volley from the Swifter. How the fuck is the Swifter out of fuel already? That makes no sense. This battle just started 15 minutes ago. The British ships are barely moved at all. Weird. Anyway, Almudena and the other ships might be able to make use of that, because a slow ship is a ship that's far easier to hit. And Formidable is about to find out. She has already taken some flooding. I think she's limited to the very poor speed of the Immortalica, because they're still in one division. Immortalica's far behind. If they can get some damaging hits on the Formidable, that could be bad news for the British. Because the British, as opposed to the Spanish, have cramped quarters. These guys can take a couple of hits without losing crew performance. The British can't. I think that that's also a very big concern right now for the Immortalica. When I started this battle, I thought, well, the British are surely going to win this, right? Because they got those deadly 8.7s. Their 14-inchers might be able to take out the Spanish main guns, because that's a weak spot of the Spanish. But the British are getting pretty swiftly destroyed by the Spanish. Damage to the main tower of another ship. The Almudena is taking damage to her main tower, but is not destroyed. Damage to the main guns. It's concerning. Couple more hits, and the Almudena might find herself with a turret less to worry about. Formidable is flooding. She's still focused on the Almudena. 7% crew loss. 7% crew loss on the Formidable. Can they pen this? Except for bow and stern? Yes. The Spanish guns are now so deadly at this range that they can pen pretty much anywhere on that ship. Except for the deck. Formidable, by contrast, cannot pen the Spanish ships. They only have bow and stern and main towers to focus on. And as you've seen, their main towers are very vulnerable. At this rate, I see the Spanish taking the win. Especially the British ships doing almost nothing as they're... I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. I think Swiftsure is currently leader of the div, as indicated by their direction indicator. But Swiftsure is trying to lead a division of a couple of really badly damaged battleships. So trying to have everybody fall back into a position means that Swiftsure, well, she isn't too sure about what to do. She doesn't know what to do. And this means she's just staying there broadside at, what, 9 knots. Feels slower than that. Formidable taking more flooding. Ooh, torpedo getting destroyed aboard the launcher. Yeah, in their launcher on the Almudena. She has no torpedoes left. Which is a good thing for the British, because the Spanish ships are about to enter range here. Oh, more flooding on the Formidable. No, Formidable. It's not a French ship. 25% crew lost here. The Almudena has a lot of fires going on. España almost within torpedo range. Formidable flooding yet again. This is bad. Formidable is listing, yet somehow still able to maintain some pressure on the enemy. And the British, by some brain fart, have decided to switch fire to the Velasco. Meaning that both the battered Almudena and España, with both 30% crew lost, are still effective. Formidable is down. Velasco has taken some flooding. They're spreading their fire out between so many different ships that they're effectively not getting anything done. The Swiftsure, for a moment, might be safe-ish behind the Formidable. 11% crew lost. Almudena taking some fire again. 29.6% crew lost. They're focused on Almudena with all the guns. She's now at 31%, 32% crew loss. This is starting to really hamper their damage control abilities. %33% crew lost. The Spanish damage control parties are working very, very hard to put out as many fires as they can, and the British starting as many fires as they can. But seemingly the Spanish right now have the upper hand. The fires on the Almudena are rapidly getting put out, keeping the ship alive. And Swiftsure is getting, I think, destroyed faster than she can eliminate the Almudena. There's another damaging hit. That was a full pen. That was a damaging pen to the secondary tower. 36% crew lost. 30. Don't switch fire, Swiftsure. They're switching fire to the Velasco for some reason. If the AI would just not switch fire so many times, many of these battles would have ended very differently. But the way that the AI just constantly switches fire for seemingly no discernible reason means that they continuously lose fights. The parties that are able to hammer ships constantly, keeping up the pressure and eliminating a ship, immediately achieve the result of a damage reduction. They don't have as many ships firing at them anymore. But now we got a badly damaged España, an almost dead Almudena, and a somewhat damaged Velasco. But it's really not that bad. The damage isn't there. But the damage on Swiftsure has been done, and the Immortalica is basically waiting to get finished off. And once again they're switching their fire to the Velasco. Oh, dude. This is not the right way to play this. This is not the right way for the AI to continuously switch fire. %39.1% here on Almudena. 34% in the España. 14% no. Swiftsure is basically one flooding hit away from sinking. She is very angled. So maybe that's going to keep her alive for just a moment longer. Come on, show me that indicator. That's weird. Normally you get to see what the pen chance is. But it doesn't seem to recognize the Swifture as an entity anymore? The hell? Here. Yep, there's the flooding hit. Midships towards the stern. Almudena, 39% crew lost, and they're still firing on the Velasco. Oh boy. Main guns and part of their secondary is unable to fire due to the amount of list that the British ships have developed. By some miracle, the Immortalica is still functional. And it looks like all the Spanish guns are also still functional, which is a first, I think. Because most of these battles, the Spanish have had their guns destroyed. Sometimes one, sometimes all of them. Ooh. Flash fire. Swifture is out. It means Immortalica, well, with this level of list, is going to be impossible for her to survive. She is exposing her belly. She can't fire anymore. The Spanish have it. Partial pen. 34% crew lost, 22.9. 39.5. They could have eliminated at least one of these ships. Oh, they're firing again. More flooding. But where? Seems all compartments are flooded properly. Oh, destroy the casemate. Immortalica is going down, swinging. Giving everything she's got. In those few rare moments where she can actually get to fire. Because that's getting rare. And it probably was her last time. She's done. Immortalica. Out of the fight. But oh, look at her struggle. 3%. She's beating the flooding. For now. But, alas. Immortalica. Last of the Immortalis class ships goes down. Now, I thought that was it. I thought the UK lost, Spain won. So I plugged that into Challenge. And Challenge said, nope, we're not done yet. There's a rematch, Spain versus UK, again. So the UK gets one more shot to redeem themselves, because they've won quite a lot of battles so far. So we're going to run it again. And see who's the actual winner of this tournament. Here we go, the actual finale. España, San Francisco de Paula, and Pelayo against the Brits. One final time. The AI has taken control of the helm. And let's see if the Spanish, this time around, can take a beating from the Brits. Because the British so closely had the Spanish. So close. And then they kept switching fire. And they switched fire again. And they switched fire again. And the Spanish crews went home with crew losses of the 30-35%. But no actual kill. Looks like the Spanish so far are peppering the trailing ship. Range is quickly decreasing. We're looking at 18 kilometers. 17.5. If they would just pick the lead ship, I bet they would get even more accuracy. And judging by the volume of fire, the British are opening up with everything they've got. The 8.7s coming into range. So the Spanish are about to get another good kicking by the British. Don't know how this one's going to end up. So far, some serious damage on the España there. Flooding. Damage to the main gun. The Spanish don't have anything to show for it yet. Did they switch fire? Their accuracy just dropped to 0. Damage to the main tower. These shells are going absolutely everywhere but onto the British ships. They're missing them by as much as 2 kilometers. Which is really surprising, because I didn't touch the Spanish ships at all. I didn't change anything about them. Just RNG making them pretty unlucky. Can they get the next volley to hit then? Nope. Nothing. Not even a ricochet. After 200 shots, they have nothing to show for it. The British, by contrast, do. They've already inflicted some serious damage on the España. Both flooding, structural integrity, some fires, and crew loss. And the Spanish really need to get lucky. They need a hit. Any hit. Damage the main tower. Torpedo launcher has been completely destroyed. 16% crew lost. The British ships are just melting down the España. 20% crew loss. 23.5. The Spanish still haven't hit anything? What the hell? There goes the España due to extensive fire. This is really quite incredible. I've done nothing to the British. I've done nothing to the Spanish. I just put the battle in and put them under air control. And finally the Spanish inflict one hit. Good lord, that took them long enough. King Edward VII, 10 kilometers out. Spanish are way too close for comfort. Either they push in now and torpedo the British ships to death, or they're just going to get melted down. And there we go, we got 4 floodings on the British ship. If they can do that again, they can take out one of the British. Overpen, partial pen. Look at how much flooding the King Edward VII has taken. 50% buoyancy is gone. Partial. These Spanish guns surely can get another flooding in, if only she wasn't turning. That's bad news, but it does mean that the Canopus and the Immortalica might take flooding next, as they're still very much broadside. And perhaps, because of this, the Spanish guns are going to get a little more accurate, as the Canopus absorbed a lot of shell fire meant to go into the King Edward VII. That volume of fire from the Brits, though. Fire being laid down on San Francisco. Ooh, flooding. Torpedo launchers getting blown up. At this rate, they will not get into torpedo range. Please tell me you're firing at something useful. You're firing at the Immortalica. You're firing at the one healthy ship. Dude, why? Stop firing at healthy ships and sink the King Edward VII if you want to get some parity into this battle. Flooding on the Immortalica. The San Francisco has lost 21% of her crew. Has taken a lot of fires that still need to get put out. And she's flooding. Damage control parties are getting overwhelmed. The Pelayo, perfectly healthy. Not a worry in the world. Fires at the Immortalica. She is broadside. Some shells flying way over. Canopus had some flooding, but it's fine. San Francisco is turning very, very much. She did launch a torpedo at, I suspect, Immortalica. If that strikes bow or stern on the Immortalica, that could be a severe problem for that ship. The torpedo launchers in the Pelayo have been eliminated. So the Spanish, let's say, wonder weapon is gone. This one torpedo could have a serious impact, no pun intended, on the battle. Immortalica seems to be aware and is changing direction. And based on her trajectory, I'd say she's going to be well and clear of that torp. But these torps sometimes have a tendency to change direction. Immortalica took flooding. Torpedo is gone. It's just gone. Oh, good lord. Pelayo taking a bunch of fire. Serious flooding. San Francisco listing too badly? Yeah, she's listing to starboard, seriously. All her guns are uselessly pointing up at the air. But by some miracle, they suddenly got a volley off. With very limited results. Oh. That was not good. There's a bit of flooding going on, but I'm more concerned about the fires at this point. Big volley on the Immortalica. And it did almost nothing. King Edward the 7th, still holding with a 54% buoyancy loss. Oh, sorry, 54% buoyancy, 46% loss. 84% buoyancy on the Palaio. Come on. What are you shooting at? The Canopus? Why? No! Don't be like that. The Palaio is just getting completely hammered here. So much fire coming at this ship. And sure enough, she's ricocheting and just shrugging off, or sometimes completely ignoring shells. But it's adding up. She's lost her crew. Palaio's out. Surrendered to the British ships, leaving only the battered San Francisco de Paula. She seems to be trying to make something work against the King Edward, but her list is still serious. She is able to shoot, and she lodged a torpedo into the King Edward. 2, potentially 3 compartments are flooding. That was her last torpedo, and she made it work. That could still sink the King Edward, but I don't think that's going to sway the battle into the Spanish favor here. 33% buoyancy, 30... 27. Yeah, you can keep destroying torpedo launchers on this ship, because she doesn't have any left anyway. But the crew loss is mounting. 32% crew is dead. Volley against Canopus. Mixed results. King Edward holding buoyancy now at 23%. But I don't think that's going to make it. Because she's not even getting focused anymore by the San Francisco. Another volley. Some partial pens and some fires, but nothing serious. No flooding, no destroyed turrets, no crippling crew loss. It's interesting how you can run the same battle several times and just get completely different outcomes. Very, very different outcomes. Canopus starting to flood. San Francisco flooding as well. Yeah, surrendered to the crew casualties. Oh man. So 1 extensive fire and 2 ships down to crew casualties. Oh, that's rough. And with that result, it is ultimately the British that win the tournament. How did they get here? They won a lot of battles. And that gave them enough chance to still get a do-over of the finale. Had they not won as many battles as they did, then Spain would have had it. So congratulations to Immortalis and his Immortalica class. Next tournament is going to be starting real soon. Registration is now closed. It's going to be a 1940s battlecruiser tournament. And the reward for winning is the Bismarck. More about that in the next tournament introduction, which is going to be up on the channel real soon. Thank you guys for watching the channel. Thank you guys for watching the tournament. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really liked running this tournament. It's a nice break from the campaigns. And I really like that you guys enjoyed it too. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon for the next battles, the next tournament, and more ships.